Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Book Review Blog. I am your book reviewer, and today we're going to review the book Bag of Bones by Stephen King. Happy New Year. This is my first review of the new year, so I'm excited. The main character in the book is a man named Michael Noonan, who at the beginning of the book lives with his wife Joanna, and Michael is a writer who lives in Maine, and he at the beginning of the book, his wife Joanna dies. She witnesses a car accident and has an aneurysm. So she's not killed in the car accident. She has kind of a brain aneurysm, and which is very tragic. And so Mike is dealing with his wife's death at the beginning, and he suffers from a writer's block, and he suffers from this writer's block for 4 years. He's still able to put out books because he has a lot of books on review, or on hold, kind of, so the public never knows that he has writer's block, but unfortunately he does, and he ends up going to a summer home for him in Maine. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called or where it is. It's kind of but the summer home that he's called is Sarah Laughs. It's a kind of funny name, but that's what his summer home is called. And it was a place that he and Joe, that which is what he calls his wife, loved, and he was saying, maybe there I can get some kind of a break in my writer's block, and hopefully maybe I can start writing. And what ends up happening is he ends up meeting this very young mother named Maddie DeVore, and her daughter Kyra. And Maddie is kind of in a bitter custody battle, not with her ex-husband. Maddie's husband had died in a war, but she's in a custody battle with her ex-father-in-law, named Max DeVore, who he feels, even though Max is very old and he's in a wheelchair and he needs oxygen with him constantly, he thinks that he's a better parent for little Kyra than Maddie is. Never understood that, but anyway, that's part of the book. But along with befriending Maddie and Kyra and getting into their world, Mike is starting to learn things about his wife Jo that he never knew. The very first thing he learns about in the very beginning is that Jo was pregnant when she died. She was about 8 weeks along, so she probably just found out herself. And she and Mike had always wanted to have children and they never could. And when Mike met Maddie and Kyra, he was first taken aback by Kyra's name, because he initially thought her name was Kaya, which was one of the names that he and Jo wanted to name their future child if they had one. So he was thinking, oh wow, this is a really weird coincidence. So one of the other major secrets that he learned from Jo is that Jo, before Jo had died, she had made her way up to this town of Sarah Laughs, because she and Mike, most of their winter homes, or other than summer, is spent in the fictional town of Derry, Maine. I just remember that. But this was maybe hours away, so she took kind of day trips here, and he never knew why. And that's kind of most of the book, is he's trying to figure out why his wife was here and why and what she was doing here before she died. And there's also a little mystery in the book. Like I said, the home is named Sarah Laughs, which is kind of a weird name, but it's known for um, a rock and roll singer named Sarah Tidwell. And I tried to look her up. It seems that she's fictitious, so I tried to see if this was a real person. But he's beginning to learn more about her and that she lived there when she was younger and or alive, and she also had um, a son, and the son ended up dying and being drowned off of the lake that's attached to Mike's house. So unfortunately, that's really sad. And I think the boy's name was Keto. It was kind of a strange name, but and eventually Mike has run-ins with Max DeVore. Max kind of calls him on the phone and harasses him there. Like, you don't want to mess with my daughter-in-law. She's, and I excuse my language, she's a slut, she's a whore. And he's like, I don't believe you. Maddie's not. I've met her before. She's very nice. I don't believe you. And then he has an actual kind of physical run-in with Max DeVore and his caretaker, whose name is Rogette Williams, or Wilson or something. And Max and Rogette actually kind of push Mike over into the lake, and he almost drowns. But he does get free, and he thinks that it's Joe who actually helped him. So, and so then he really pledges a fight on Max DeVore after that Max almost killed him. But as it turns out, Max ended up killing himself, which I thought was kind of odd because he was trying really hard to get custody of little Kyra, excuse me, and all of a sudden he just kills himself. So, and then after Max is dead, it seems that Rogette has kind of given up on the whole custody thing because Rogette says that she wants to move away to Washington, where she's from. So that's, of course, cross country. So Mike and Maddie think they've won, and so they have kind of a celebration at Maddie's house along with different lawyers and different people that they know. And what ends up happening is that Maddie is not really liked by the town. There's a town full of just kind of old men and women that it's like, we don't like this young person who's just kind of moved in with no husband and just a daughter, and she wants to try and make it out on her own. And so what happens is that a group of townspeople kind of do a drive-by shooting at Maddie's house, and Maddie is ended up killed, and Mike is not hurt, but all the other grown-ups are wounded. Some die, some don't die, but Maddie makes Mike promise that he will take care of Kyra, so he gathers Kyra up and takes her away. And that's kind of the end of the book. There is some things that happen in the end that I won't tell you to spoil the end. I kind of did a little bit, but there are still big things that happen in the book. I ended up liking it. I really didn't read the book that I showed you. I listened to it on audiobook, and Stephen King was the one who read it, which I thought was cool because I like the way he sounds. So, that's it for the book review for this week. I wanted to show you, I got a Kindle for Christmas this year, so I know I'm behind multiple years. This is just a regular Kindle, excuse me. And that's what I'm going to use for my next book. I downloaded a bunch of classic books because they were free, so yay. And the next book that I'm going to read, I believe, is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So that's it. I bid you all farewell and happy reading.